close these guys. Freaking code. Always with the code. Ba ba ba. All right. Record. Are we on? Are we live? I think we are live. What's happening? What's going on, team? All right, so we're going to go through the OPT model. Why the OPT model? Because it's based on NASM's protocol for periodization, for the phases, as we will soon see. And this is built with the Day 1 Den ecosystem, the mindset, or not mindset, sorry. I'm very tired. I've been working on the freaking app again, and it's just like, it's draining me. It is draining me. But yes, all right, so let's share the screen. Day 1 Den, is it this one? Yeah. Allow only on every visit. And are we sharing? And do we have that? So the OPT model, right? So the optimum performance training model. Right, so this model is a systematic, integrated functional assessment and training framework designed by the National Academy of Sports Medicine. Originally developed by physical therapist Michael Clark, the model bridges the gap between physical therapy and strength and conditioning. It provides a repeatable, evidence-based system for progressing clients from foundational stabilization to maximal power. Now, with the so basically, yeah, so that's when we have. Okay, that was weird. So yeah, so from stabilization. So as soon as you come through, so like even though like I could be at my position and I go see another trainer who has National Academy of Sports Medicine, either a certification or this optimal performance training model. He or she will still have to be, that trainer will still have to put me through phases to test where I am. So if I'm going for a first initial consultation, overhead squat, push-ups, planks, stability, knee health, lunges, right? So they'll have to put me through that assessment so they can design a program for me based off of this model, because this model is repeatable, it's science-based, it's evidence-based, it is a proven system. That's why the certification, NASM's built this, right? This framework. This model is structured into 3 distinct levels: stabilization, strength, and power, comprising 6 specialized phases. Its primary objective is to decrease the risk of injury and overtraining while maximizing performance by addressing muscle imbalances, joint stability, and neuromuscular efficiency. So these are the value system, so to speak, of the perfect program design for clients, right? So like I mentioned in previous videos, in previous video coaching, right? So if I sign up for, let's say I wanted to learn more on Olympic lifting, and once I sign up for person influencers, PDF, workout, video app, and I see them performing an overhead snatch, with X weight on that barbell, and I perform it without any instruction of that specific influencer's program or their insight, and I just follow along their program, right? So that's why we have this ecosystem inside the Day 1 Den FighterFit Athletics, with the video analysis, with the OPT model framework, with the logic and brain of NASM, so that you guys are safe and confident in our coaching. All right, so stabilization, strength, and power. Right, so key takeaways. So the foundation first: progressing to high intensity loads without a stable foundation increases orthopedic risk. Right, the power of supersets. Assessment-driven programming. All training decisions are dictated by transitional and performance assessments, such as the overhead squat Davies and Shark skills tests. That's right. And integrated flexibility. Flexibility must be viewed as a continuum, corrective, active, and functional, that aligns with the specific phases of training. Right, so the architecture of the OPT model, the model is built on the principle of progressive overload applied through a systematic framework. It is designed to be integrated, meaning it incorporates flexibility, cardiorespiratory training, core, balance, plyometrics, speed, agility, and quickness, and resistance training into every program. Right, so we mentioned 3 levels of training already. Stabilization focuses on muscular endurance, joint stability, and movement quality. So back to the signing up for the Olympic lifting. So if I don't have joint integrity or stability and my low back is tweaked and I perform these overhead snatches, and perhaps, what if I was doing a plank and my core was sagging, my hips were low to the floor, right? And I proceed with this program, and week 1 I'm doing great. Week 2 with that instability with my incorrective form plank, that means my core structure, muscular system cannot handle an overhead weighted power snatch or a dumbbell power snatch or a overhead shoulder press. My integrity, my foundation is not there for that specific exercise, so I will have a higher chance of injury. That is why we address this we address this through the video analysis of making sure that we have our fitness test or physical readiness exercise protocol for video analysis. All right, so phase and also strength. So focuses on prime mover strength, muscle growth, hypertrophy, and maximal force production. That's phase 2. Phase 3 is power, focusing on the rate of force production, speed, and explosiveness. All right, so phase 1, primary goal, improve movement patterns, enhance joint stability, and increase muscular endurance. Of course, we have a little more information here. And of course, they have the tempo. So 4 seconds on the eccentric, 2 seconds on an isometric hold, 1 second concentric contraction. Repetitions 12 to 20. Intensity 40 to 60% of a 1 rep max. So that is a key variable in the foundational phase 1 of this tempo. All right, so by Coach Joe Drake says in this quote, if you are building a house, would you want to build it from the roof first, or would you want to build a strong foundation? You've got to establish a foundation first. And once we progress, we have strength, level 2, phases 2, 3, and 4 inside the OPT model. Level 2 transitions the client from stability toward force production, utilizing 3 distinct phases. Strength endurance, the bridge. This phase is the hybrid bridge between stabilization and hypertrophy. It uses supersets consisting of a traditional strength exercise followed immediately by a biomechanically similar stabilization exercise. Example superset. So you have a barbell bench press strength followed immediately by a push-up stabilization. Phase 3, muscular development, hypertrophy. See, now this is where we change the variable, 6 to 12 repetitions or up to 15 with 3 to 6 sets. Maximal strength, variables, 1 to 5 repetitions. Okay, then we have power. This phase utilizes a superset pairing a heavy strength exercise with an explosive light load power exercise. So this is a key term here. So post-activation potentiation. The heavy lift primes their nervous system, allowing the subsequent explosive movement to be more powerful. An example superset of this post-activation potentiation is a heavy barbell squat, 1 to 5 repetitions, followed by 10 jump squats. I remember years ago, we were doing just like the post-activation potentiation with a barbell bench press, followed by bodyweight push-ups. And my client barely did 3 or 5 of the bodyweight push-up. But this is great though. So we are training to that maximal output in a safe, controlled manner. He did the barbell bench press, had an awesome record lift. And then, like, you know what, let's add in a post-activation potentiation, PAP, and let's do some bodyweight push-ups. Let's really push that max. And then, of course, phase 6, maximal power. And then, of course, we have the integrated flexibility and assessments. The OPT model dictates that the flexibility and assessments must be systematic rather than random. The essential assessments. This is the blueprint for the program. If a client shows compensations during an assessment, the solutions table indicates which muscles are active, requiring self-myofascial release and stretching, and which are underactive, requiring strengthening. So the NASM has a blueprint for a solutions table. So overhead squat assessment. Okay, so identifies primary movement compensations like feet turning out or knees caving in, adduction or knee valgus. The Davies Test assesses upper body agility and stabilization, shoulder taps. A Shark skill test assesses lower body agility and neuromuscular control on a single leg. And of course, the importance of human connection. Despite the rise of AI and technology, the sources emphasize that interpersonal human coaching is irreplaceable. So yeah, we have the wonderful world of technology. However, having the experience of a certified personal trainer for 16, 17 years and working with clients hands-on, in person and in multiple gyms, and even during times of, working with friends and family, I have that ability to spot instability, right? So we have to have the technology coupled with the expertise of the coach. Right, so successful training is about the relationship and coaching, not just the numbers on the page. Quality over quantity in every phase, especially phase 1 and the power phases, the freeze frame concept applies. If a movement is performed explosively but loses the 5 kinetic chain checkpoints, the feet, knees, lumbo, pelvic, hip complex, shoulders, and head, the load is too high or the speed is too fast. So the 5 kinetic checkpoints, we always want to make sure the body, the foundation, the plumb line is secure. And we are doing our supplemental exercises, side planks, glute bridges, fire hydrants, Superman, Superwoman, WTs and Ys for posterior chain backside, making sure that we are still doing our partial sit-ups. All right, we are doing our diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, so then we have here, so linear versus undulating periodization. While the OPT model is often taught linearly, phase 1 to phase 2, it can be applied undulationally. For example, an advanced client might perform a phase 4 workout on Monday and a phase 1 recovery foundational workout on Wednesday to manage fatigue and to maintain stability. Right, so even though we have the phases, it's not necessarily linear, right? So like, for example, let's say when I hurt my hamstring on a jump front kick, I kind of tweaked my hamstring a little bit, right? So I had to go back to a phase 1 concept of exercises and flexibility for rehab of that hamstring. However, upper body, shoulders, and whatever I could do at that time, I was able to still do my power output exercise format, right? So Dr. Marty Miller, one of the head coaches and one of the main people, main voices and expertise of the mindset, of the knowledge, Dr. Marty Miller, assessments are your blueprint. If you're not assessing, you're guessing. And we never want to guess when it comes to our workout design. We never want to guess when it comes to our power output. We never want to guess, is my deadlift looking good? And with that being said, I was coming across a social media post where one individual influencer was talking about she was performing a deadlift, but her back was rounding. Now, of course, with a traditional sense of a rear leg deadlift, soft knee deadlift, you want to make sure you want to have that core, your core strong, right? Back to what I was saying about the planks. If my planks are looking like crapola and my hips are sagging, I'm not going to be able to do a powerful 3 to 5 set 185 deadlift if my core can't handle the workload. Now, her back was rounding. So like I even caught myself this years ago when I was first training, I was doing a deadlift. And you know what? Upon video analysis, so doing a slow motion replay, I was performing a heavy deadlift, probably 2 plates aside. And the first 2 reps were solid, but 3 and 4, I saw my low back do that little arch, right? So we don't want to have that arch in our back. So that's why everyone online was kind of talking to this creator, to this influencer or online coach, saying that, oh, you know what, you're going to hurt your back, or from watching this, my back already hurts. And the person responded with, oh, you know what, you want to have your back rounding, you want to have this back rounding. And then she went to I forgot what it's called, but you go on top of a plyo box and you hold a heavy weight in your hands and you forward fold into a deeper stretch for a forward flexion and for your vertebrae one at a time to get that stretch. Yes, for that specific exercise, I forgot the name of it, but yeah, you want to do that. But in a deadlift, if I would tell that to my client, or say to my client, or even a regular gym goer, that is going to be an issue for the deadlift or for future lifts for that specific person, and that is what we don't want. So that's why you have to be really careful on the people. That is weird. I don't know why it says that, but all right. So anyway, so back to what I was saying here. So you want to be careful of your news feed, your social media influencers that you are looking at, because yes, there is proper technique for exercises, and yes, that forward fold with the hamstrings and the kettlebell on the top of the plyo box, yes, that is an exercise. However, if you want to do a 185 deadlift or 225 or 3 plates aside, or even just lifting up your little pet, you don't want to hurt your back. You don't want to have that rounded position. We were taught in my certification is the American College of Sports Medicine, and we want to make sure that we have that power position. So when we take things out of the cupboard, we want to, or if we're picking up a box off the floor and putting it to a higher position, we want to have the power position of our low back solid, of our core, deep muscular system activated, not rounding, not shoulders forward, not disengaged. All right, so you definitely want to be careful with what you are inputting into your mind for your workouts. So that's the OPT model, right? So that's what we use for our clients. Now, what was the next part here? Yeah, so what I was going to say again, in OPT model, oops. Let's see here. Where is? I have. Let's see here. I'll keep you guys there while I look at the downloads, or is it on my desktop? Might be on my desktop. All right. Let's share that real quick here. Window. OPT model phases. All right, so we have the OPT model, a blueprint for peak performance. So we have phase 1, level 1, stabilization, the foundation. So having the planks, modified push-ups if we have to. Right, so phase 1, stabilization, endurance. So focuses on correcting movement patterns and enhancing joint stability through higher repetitions. The primary goal is neuromuscular efficiency. Repetition range is 12 to 20 reps. Now, for this specific phase, we have the tempo of a 4-second eccentric, 2-second, slow eccentric is 4, isometric hold is 2, and optimizing motor learning and technique. I think there's an extra 1 in there, so 4, 2, 1, 1 tempo, 4 seconds, 2-second hold, 1 second concentric. There's an extra one in there. Foundational preparedness. Foundational preparedness. Ah, man, I need to talk to a speech therapist. Prepares connective tissues and tendons for the heavier loads used in later phases. All right, so we have phase 2, the strength endurance bridge. Uses supersets pairing a stable strength exercise with a biomechanically similar stability exercise. So we have a bench incline chest press with a stability ball push-up. And of course, the muscular and development max strength, phase 3 and 4, phase 5 and 6. Primary goal, rate of force production, repetition range 1 through 10. Primary goal is prime mover strength. Repetition range is 1 through 12. So that is the OPT phases on the infographic for you guys for the image. Now, I was working on, as mentioned in previous video calls, 7-day Jumpstart app has the workouts in there for you guys to quickly go through. Also worked on a custom app for a client. For this specific client, he has ankle and mobility issues to address. So on his custom app, there's a day-by-day checklist to go through. Of course, in future editions, I can modify that. His program design is for the first 30 days with the OPT model, phase 1 foundational. There is the, what else is there? The video update analysis on the FighterFitX Vault for the 15-second upload. Of course, now with the VIP coaching, one-on-one, plus the group coaching stuff. So VIP have access to me on a WhatsApp number. Ask me, or that's where you can send me a quick video, a longer video of you performing the deadlift from the front and side profile so I can assess it correctly. Not correctly, but I can give more in-depth analysis as opposed to the FighterFitX Vault. The FighterFitX Vault is meant for the fitness test, the 6 exercises, 15-second uploads, and it'll give you a direct feedback. The video app will give you a direct feedback of your technique. I tested it the other day. It took me forever to work it, but I was doing a push-up and I made sure, or I gave an improper push-up with my right shoulder dipping, and it caught that. Okay, it caught that. So with the VIP coaching, with the direct WhatsApp to me, send me the video of you performing a longer duration of that deadlift, of the squat, the plyometric push-up, of a double-handed kettlebell swing, and I'll take a look at it. I tested this in video analysis as well. I was doing a barbell back squat, and it caught that the video analysis through the repetitions, even though I was low, it was giving me feedback of what was going well. But near the end of my set rep number 5 and 7 between there, my center chest went forward a little bit, and my feet kind of caved in, and my right hip shifted. Now, I've been doing with that video analysis, after the longer feedback, it gave me 90-90 switches for my 90-90 shin box switches, and I've been doing those during this week, especially with the kettlebell, because day one assistant coach, I did some workouts from it, and the exercises was the 90-90 switches, but I asked for explosive power or fighter conditioning. I incorporated a heavier kettlebell for those 90-90 switches, and it felt great. But I did feel, after uploading the video to the assistant coach and for video analysis in live and feedback in the gym, it noticed my right hip shifted. And once it gave me that feedback, I was looking back, and I did feel my right shift hip as I was descending into my squat. I went heavier on the squat because I was fine, and I had more of a proud chest. I made sure my hips, I went slow and controlled with that same tempo. On the eccentric, I went lower, a little slower, just to make sure that the video, because I was filming myself from behind, to capture my technique. Proud chest, make sure my hips were good, make sure my foot didn't cave in. I think that was one of the exercise corrections on the first video. Uploaded it again. It notified the assistant coach realized I was staying more upright and I was going depth in longer, lower range, a little slower tempo with more control, even though it was a heavier set. And it still gave me the 90-90 switches as exercise hip correction. And also I can do a little bit more adductor work as well too. And I need a little more flexibility. And I knew that. I knew I had, I've been working with the bands for band stretches, the large band for my hamstring stretch, and now deep right hip I have to work on. That's always, it's been an issue for a little while, but it is getting better throughout the exercises that I'm working on. So that is, the VIP, WhatsApp, video upload. We have OPT model, a little more of a breakdown of why we use the OPT model for our clients and for our coaching, making sure that you guys are being more knowledge-based in who the coaches, influences you are looking at or watching over or taking advice from, making sure that that coach is certified and has real-world experience working with clients. And what else is there? I think that's it. The 7-day app Jumpstart app is there. The FighterFitX Vault is there. It will log in. So for example, through the 6 exercises that you guys perform, you log the numbers in, hit save. The date will be there. It'll be total number of repetitions in the little graph. And do it again the next following week, and it'll log and it'll save. It'll save over the 90 days, maybe a little longer. I try to aim for 90 days for that one for the fitness test for you guys. And of course, the video upload. The video upload is a massive win. The massive win was, also too with my own video analysis of my back squat. And I am also updating the Day One Den assistant coach a little bit. I tried to update a little bit, just a minor tweaks. You always want to keep, with technology advancing, you always want to make sure what's working, what's not, and what would be more beneficial for you guys to have inside the app. And just like the school platform, every Tuesday they have their live group, they have their live feed update, and they talk about their clients, they talk about the school group, they talk about what's coming, what's improving, what addresses they need to be concerned, or what addresses that current school communities are raising. And that's what I want to do with us in the Day One Den. Having the in-gym experience like we did have the in-person, of course, that connection, talking in with the video coaching, make sure you guys are good to go, and having that constant communication, and also updating as we go along, with everything. And all right, happy Friday. Okay, all right, team. I believe you guys have all the links for the updated apps, and I'll also update it. There's also a little video. I love the video, little snippet videos, podcast style, and for the OPT model, and also the current past exercises that we've gone through. All right, that's it, team. Happy Friday. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. It was the OPT model and what we use to help our clients, to coach our clients to fitness success. I'm surprised I had some restrictions on there. TikTok here gave me a little three notifications, but we're all good. All right, team. Happy Friday. Again, please come into the 7-day Jumpstart program. You will have a free trial on this one. Now, just to touch base on that trial too. So with school, so you do have to upload with any trial with school. You upload your credit card on file. You have the 7-day trial, just like other school communities, and double check to make sure that you guys they always give either 24 or 48 hour email notification of saying, hey, hoping you're enjoying your experience with this community. Please note that you will be charged for the membership coming up. So for example, let's say, for mine, we have level 1, the standard, the $8 a month. That is for the 7-day Jumpstart and then we can repeat that course as long as you like. That's $8. And of course, Mondays is as of this recording, Mondays at 12 p.m. Pacific, we have the video group coaching. And for the premium tier, that's when you have the Day One Den assistant coach unlimited workout editions or creations, sorry. And that is yes, that's what you guys get into. That's the $98 premium upgrade for that one to have and also too with that premium upgrade, you have Wednesdays and Fridays at noon. Right, today's Friday. So we would have the group coaching. I would turn this off, and then we'll go dive into the clients. And of course, the VIP is where we have that customization of more in-depth and more access to me for specific workout program design. Of course, the WhatsApp direct, the longer video submission, and also too, I forgot to mention that at the end of the workout, of that specific workout given for that day, to give me a 30-second video. Hey Ryan, or hey coach, I just did this exercise or this workout. I felt great. Deadlift felt good. My right hip's kind of tight. So I did put in as an add-on to the Day One Den Assistant Coach. After the workout, there is a text box where you can add in if you want more core or if you want more flexibility. Just ask that at the end, and just kind of give me a recap at the gym before you leave. Once you finish your workout, and you're like, hey, I loved it. I did X amount of weight. I definitely felt I can do a little bit more. Just so I am informed by video. Definitely video for this one, so I can see you guys, and your feedback for that workout. And of course, we'll save that submission as well.